Hey guys, Uncle Ray, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and I give you the non-biased information you can use to hopefully capitalize on this bull run. I can't be more bullish. But guys, you're going to have to spend some time zooming out so you can make some informed decisions. The one flaw I see, especially out there of people like influencers talking to people about projects, it's not that they don't deep dive the project, they don't deep dive the competition. You know, we are competing against Wall Street. And now that we have regulation, they have roadmaps that are powerful. And we're going to talk about real world assets. And I believe that sector is the future. It's going to be hot for this bull run. So you want to stack some good projects. You do not want to hodl those. And I'll explain that as we go through. But you have to understand what the competition looks like and what their game plan is. Because whether you like Wall Street or not, or the legacy banks, they have the customers. And when you're talking about tokenizing assets, if they have the option to use another blockchain or use their own tech, you can guarantee they're going to use their own tech. They're not greedy in the speculation like we are. They're greedy in the fees and the domination of milking their accounts. So they're not going to pass on and use another blockchain and unless that just helps them generate fees, maybe going in and out of their projects. So that will make sense if you stay with me in this video. Now we're going to go through a lot of charts, especially some relating to where we are in the market. And then we're going to get into 3 projects, real world asset projects that you probably never heard of, or you probably don't really relate them to real world assets. But it's something you need to watch and understand because these markets and the competitors are changing every single day. Now, again, I'm extremely bullish and I could add a lot of different projects into this video like Clearpool or Ondo and RWAX. I mean, there's a lot of projects depending on your risk tolerance to choose from. But you need to, in my opinion, do your homework, zoom out, understand what I'm going to share with you, and maybe 1 or 2 of these projects is something you want to stack. So hit the like button. Let's dive into it. Now, right now, we're about 50-50, and the markets are going up and down sideways for the most part, and a lot of people are playing the bounces because one thing big money does is when something bounces, they take their profit, right? Just like when it's crashing, big money, smart money, they have went short. Well, they got to cover. So you're always going to get bounces like days like yesterday and today. Well, then, you know, when you put in $50 million or $100 million or more and it bumps 20-30%, boom, they're back out. And now we're back heading sideways. You need to understand that because this market is nothing like any market we've had in the past. All right, let's look at something, guys. This is USDT dominance, basically stable coin dominance. And what you want to see is this go down. And when you see this go down, altcoins are starting to move up. It has an inverse relationship. When it goes down, alts go up. Well, as you can see right now, we just had a little move down, boom, it bounced. It's going back up. That tells you, and what I just said is true. They're getting in, getting out, going in and out of profits, and putting their money back in stable coins. And guys, trust me when I tell you, you never want to run out of dry powder. Now, here's another indicator. This is the others. This is pretty much probably representing the majority of altcoins out there. This is all the altcoins excluding the top 10. And it was going up, boom, back down again today. It's very choppy out there, guys. Now, this is Bitcoin dominance. And guys, it is not going to slow down no matter what. altcoin is not around the corner. The altcoins may start to pump up as Bitcoin goes up, but I don't see altcoin season coming anytime soon. Bitcoin is just getting started with the big money around the world. Texas, Wyoming, I think we're up to like 24 states are trying to have a reserve of Bitcoin, just like the Trump has announced. And if that hits, guys, Bitcoin dominance could go up to 75%. Who knows? Yes, that will pull altcoins up, but it will delay again altcoin season. All right. Now, hit the like button. And before we get started, guys, I just want to tell you I have my new inner circle launching. I'm extremely proud of it. And if you like alpha and you like to learn, you're going to like the inner circle. And this is the last day to get it half price for $49.99 a month. And if you have an interest, stay till the end and I'll give you all the information you need or click the link below. All right, let's dive into it, guys. This is a project that a lot of people may or may not have heard of. It's doing extremely well. It just launched. And a lot of people don't really understand that it is a real world asset tokenized platform because they are tokenizing intellectual property. Think about it, guys. Anything that has been trademarked or copyrighted or, like a university who sells, lets people use their logos to make money off of, they can track all of that on the blockchain. Now, whether this project pulls it off or not, that is coming, period, and that is the future. So this is going to be a hot topic inside the sector of real world assets. And this project has some powerhouse brain power behind it. And I believe this thing's going to make a run. I'm going to start stacking this on a pullback. Hopefully it gives us a pullback. Now, one thing that got me excited about it was, you know, when you see charts like this, analytic charts, they normally track the big boys that have movement. If you're not on here, you're not really a player when it comes to transactions. And this thing is already on the list. Now, it's not making a big, strike, but being that it's acknowledged right out of the gate, that was pretty impressive. And we're going to look back at this chart and talk about it again. Now, when you look at the chart, guys, it's brand new in a so-so environment, a kind of negative environment. It didn't get sniped or rug pulled. Hopefully it's not going to, but I hope it at least pulls back, down to the $4 range or so. But I'm going to watch it because I'm bullish. I will be buying this project. Now, here's another project. And this is a very unique project. And it has a lot of hype. A lot of people don't like the tokenomics, including me, but the mind share and the buzz is pretty big. And basically, they have a thing called YAPs, and they tokenize attention, like from influencers, and they can get paid. And the more YAPs you have, and the higher you get rated, you get money, and that's how they're going to feed the ecosystem and the providers of all this information. And this project may have a future. Now, like I said, I'm not in love with the tokenomics, and it's launched. It pumped hard, pulled back. That may have been the time to buy. And I haven't decided on this project. You can't buy them all, but this is a project that you might want to pay attention to. And that gets to the point. Everything's going to be tokenized. Your car, your boat, your mortgage, everything. But the number one thing I want you to understand when we zoom out, you hear a lot of buzz, and I'm not here to FUD on any project. But there's a lot of projects like XLM, Algorand, XRP, and countless projects saying, oh, well, it's $30 trillion coming into tokenized assets and we're going to dominate and all that. No, you're not. That's almost a guarantee. Not financial advice, but guys, think about it. Who has all the customers and all the main things that we want to tokenize. BlackRock, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, the power players. They don't need us. They don't need our tech. Now that they have regulation, they're going to create their own resources, their own tech. Now, the reason that's important, if you think that your favorite project is going to be a player among the powerhouse dominant players, you're kidding yourself. And if you want to hodl, guys, you're just going to get wrecked. Now, here's some things I want you to understand if you don't believe me. And I highly recommend, guys, go do some research of who the power players are. Because right now, when you want to talk about a flippening, Wall Street and the banks and the power players are flipping this tech to their advantage. And I just saw a chart of how much money the layer twos make, and it's amazing. Those layer twos on Ethereum, which does about 80% of all the real world assets right now, right? People talk about Mantra and Ondo. Guys, they pay Ethereum fees, right? So it's something to think about. And Wall Street is going to come get those fees. Now, the reason that is important, and if you don't believe me, look at Base. It's a dominant layer two, no token needed. Wall Street and all Base is, they clone the OP stack, and now they're beating OP. Well, Wall Street can clone that stack as well, and it won't take them any time and start processing all their transactions through their own layer two with no token, making millions and millions of dollars a week. So got to remember that, guys. Now, here's a project, a perfect example of how Wall Street's taking over everything right in front of our eyes, but no one wants to talk about it. They just want to hype their favorite token. And in my opinion, they're either naive or straight out lying to their community. Either way, there's a lot of misinformation. This is called ETHEREALIZE. And this is some of the insiders and the early guys, the big power player developers that have had a couple of issues with Vitalik because they want to move into a different direction. So what they're doing, they've created a corporation and they are creating ETHEREALIZE. There's no token and it is going to be a power player. They want to help and guide all these big power players like the BlackRocks of the world who have the customers, right? Fidelity, JP Morgan, all them to build a side chain just like JP Morgan does. No token needed, right? And then if it has to go public, well, that's what they are going to offer with a layer two of their own. And if you want your own layer two, they'll help you create that. And again, guys, that's the future. 99.9% of all these projects are going to disappear just like the 2000.com. All right, here's the chart. You know, a lot of people hate on Ethereum, right? Which just like in ETHEREALIZE, it's a Wall Street company. And the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance was created with JP Morgan and Google and all IBM and all those powerhouses, and they set the standard. You can't be a blockchain and not be EVM compatible. They have the standard for NFTs and smart contracts, period. They did that for a reason. Whether we like it or not, Wall Street loves the security of Ethereum. They don't care about the gas fees because they're going to run their own nodes and can set their roadmap up, their blueprint to make money off of the higher fees. Only retail cares about that, but Wall Street doesn't care about retail because the only retail they care about are the ones that are going to come in and buy their tokenized assets and pay them fees. But what you see on here is Solana for retail is dominating. And you see it really comes down to Solana and Ethereum. They are the only two blockchains that are really dominating. Sonic is making a move. BNB has a little impact, but Ethereum still owns the lion's share. And most people go, no, it doesn't. Look at this chart. Look at Solana. Well, guys, that's Solana. This is Ethereum. That's actually Ethereum. That's actually Ethereum. That's Ethereum. That's Ethereum. That's Ethereum. And that's Ethereum. Guys, they all pay Ethereum fees because they're layer two. So you have to add that up. Ethereum is a powerhouse and it's my biggest bag. And I don't care if you like it or not. I don't care if you ever buy it. But guys, it is the future as it sits now. I just watched a podcast where all these power players were talking about the side chains and Wall Street creating layer twos. And I had a great conversation with Grok. And that's one thing, guys, if you don't use AI like Grok, you're probably going to be misinformed. You can have a highest level intellectual conversation with a non-biased AI like Grok. It's the future. And I asked Grok to clarify some of the things that I've been saying to you guys. And he basically said, here's what it looks like, and brought it to the next level, which caught me off guard. He said, yes, short term, Wall Street might use other chains. And a lot of people are saying, well, they're going to be using public chains. They're going to have to. I agree. But they have the customers and they can do all the processing on private chains, just like JP Morgan's already doing. And if they, like BlackRock, they're going to use a lot. They may never have their own layer two because they own 33% of Coinbase. But you can bet that Base will be processing those tokenized assets. They will not be going out to XRP or any other ledger unless it's just to add to the bulk. But the lion's share will be on their projects that they make money off of. Yes, if they use 100 different chains, it's going to help the chain a little bit, but it's not going to move the needle. Now, as I talked to Grok, Grok said, well, look, here's what they can do right now. They need Ethereum, and the regulation's not in place yet, but once that does, you're going to see projects like this. It's another project, another layer two called Abstract. No token needed. And they want to be the layer two for Wall Street, for example, that is the bridge and the interoperability when these big players like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan have to go outside their environment. They want to process that and move it onto the public chain and off the public chain. Now, whether you like it or not, I think that Ethereum is going to take off and it's going to start to lead over Bitcoin. This is Ethereum against Bitcoin dominance. Guys, I think it's found the bottom. And if you go look at whale alerts, the big boys are stacking Ethereum. And I can't imagine Ethereum going through this bull run and not making a new substantial all-time high. You're not going to make life-changing gains, but when Ethereum starts to pump, I believe it's going to start to pump the entire ecosystem. Before Ethereum got all the hate in this bull run, almost every influencer showed that chart. Said money flows into Bitcoin, money flows into Ethereum, then it flows into the mid caps, then the low caps. Everyone agreed on that, from Ben Cowan to Alex Becker. They all talked about it. But now everyone's hating on Ethereum. I believe they just switched up the rotation. They rotated Solana in there, AVAX for a little while back earlier in the bull run, but they're going to rotate into Ethereum. And if we're lucky, it does absolute kick off altcoin season. So guys, the reason I want to bring this to your attention is if you're investing in real world assets, there's going to be at least 20, 25. The whole sector should pump. But when they do, I highly recommend you start taking profits pull out your initial investment as you can, because who knows how long or how high they will pump. You got to have a better strategy. That being said, guys, I do one-on-one coaching. And if you go to the link below or to my website, you can scroll down. I probably have some coaching or a coaching course that fits your needs if you want some coaching. But if you don't, I want to encourage you to at least be part of our inner circle. Because my goal is to get everyone in the 10%. 90% of people who invest in crypto lose money. But I believe if you have a good strategy, especially a dollar cost average in, dollar cost average out strategy of taking profits, this is one of the biggest opportunity in history. I'm extremely bullish. And I'm going to give you as much alpha and give you as much of my time as I can with my inner circle. I'm really excited. So guys, this is the last day at midnight. We go live with the inner circle. It's half price. I want to encourage you to be part of this community. That being said, whether you take me up on that or not, guys, do yourself a favor. Get a game plan. Zoom out. Do some research. If you disagree with what I'm saying about Wall Street, do some research and we'll agree more than we don't agree. I can almost promise you that. But get a game plan, stick to it. And guys, if you don't take profits, you're going to become the prophets. And the number one thing I want to explain to everyone is if you are looking to take profits and you don't know whether you should take a handful or take out your initial investment, I want you to do this. Add some zeros. Because think about it. If you put in $1,000 and something does a 7x, you're like, well, I want a 20x, 25x. I want altcoin season. Well, think about if you added some zeros. What if you had $1 million? Now you got $7, $8 million. Sounds kind of stupid not to take profits. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to start dumping as hard as they can into the FOMO. What if you had 100 million? Now you got 800 million. See how that works, guys? That's why these pumps get wrecked. Wall Street's here. You're not dealing against influencers or people that just happen to luck up and get into 2017 and ride things to the top and tell you to hodl and know what you own and hold out to altcoin season. You know, why would you want to sell a 7x when you got a 30x coming? Because that 7x, just like what we've seen this whole bull run, every time your portfolio starts to rip and feel good, and you're like, we're getting somewhere, boom, big boys take profits, dump the tokens, it crashes, everybody gets all sad and down, and it starts over. Meanwhile, a lot of people, the 10% people, are making a killing. I personally know people in my coaching course that if this bull run ends today have done extremely well. And guess what, guys? That's because they took profits. And I know personally, I've been extremely aggressive taking profits. And the number one thing that does for you is always gives you dry powder. But I've noticed since I've got more aggressive about a year and a half ago that it equalizes the downturns. Yes, you're going to leave money on the table sometime, but as to date, outside of Mantra and maybe Ondo and Bitcoin, pretty much every token, including Solana, when they rip, they come back. Remember when the Dino tokens rip? Every one of those Dino tokens, XLM, XRP, Algo, XDC, fell at least 40 to 50%. And as it sits today, XRP is the only one that made up a lot of that ground. But even then, if you would have took some profits, it's pumped 2 other times since then. You could take a handful, buy it back if you're still bullish, or buy something else. Anyway, guys, that's the type of alpha I try to give to my community. I want you to be in that 10% club. I know I ramble a lot and people don't want to hear it, but that's the things you need to hear. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I do tell you what I believe you need to hear. So hit the like button. Let me know what you think about real world assets in the comments and sign up for our inner circle. But either way, come back. subscribe, and be part of this community. All right, guys, take care. And I believe it's time to get to stacking.